Hello, this is Michael from Insurance Agency Automation Associates with another one of my quick videos on a new or existing AMS360 or platform feature. Today we're going to talk about a feature that came out in 18R2 and an update to it in 19R1. And those features are the ability to append an activity with the description, or append the activity description, as well as append by adding documents to an existing activity. Both are features that were widely requested and requested for many years, and happy that they finally gave them to us. First, we have to start out with security group settings. So I'm going to come over here to my admin center, and then I'm going to open security group setup. I'm going to select my main security group, which in this case is this one right here. And I'm going to go down and filter. Now, if there's a couple different ways you can do this, depending on your abilities. If you've used the system before and you know how to navigate the security group setups, you can do what I'm going to do. If you're not, you can come over here and click in the grid, copy from grid, entire grid copy. And then you can paste that into an Excel spreadsheet and you can search. There's only some 400 lines, so it's not an unimaginable process to want to do. But instead of scrolling through them and looking, you can do it that way. I happen to have some notes about where I'm going, so I'm going to drill into it, dial into it quicker. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to feature and look for all centers. Then I'm going to come over here to group. I'll look at activity suspense setup. Then I'll look for this append description. Now in this profile it's already there, but not always will that happen. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. If it was on no access, I would change it to full access. Then I would update by clicking update there, or right click update, and then save and close. In this particular case, I'm not going to save and close it because I already have it. So now I'm going to come to my customer, and let's talk about when you might use this append description first. Times that it might have is maybe you put a description in there just as you're saving and closing it. You say, no, it's the wrong description. You put something wrong in there, or you left some information out. Or another thing could happen is maybe a few minutes after saving this, you get a reply or additional information, and instead of creating another activity, you want to keep it all in one. So then you would just come to this activity and click it open. When the activity opens, you'll see the new append data link right there. Now you'll notice that I did this earlier, added some information, so you'll see the stamp there. Let's act like that's not there for the moment. As you can tell, I had to restart my recording here. So let's say I do want to add something. I hit the append data. When the append data box opens up, I can type in here whatever it is I want to add. Payroll flat, this is an audit, received copies of payroll reports. And once I hit save, again, act like that attachment button's not there. I'm going to show that to you separately. Once I hit save, you'll see that pops in there. It date stamps it with who I am, and it stamps it with the date and time. So that's how it comes in there. What I want you to notice though is back over here, this is the activity I just did it to. Notice I can't see that it was done, anything was done differently there. I'm going to come over to the customer, same customer, it's got a different view to save me from doing some things. And go away you. So over here, there's the activity again. I can't see anywhere in here that I appended it. I can't see it in the view. So what I have to do is I can click on the down arrow to pick a new column, and I'm going to add the appended column back in. So I'm adding it here, and then I'll go over to my other view, right click or regular click there, and add appended in here. Now I've already moved these around and had them, but sometimes I want it over here, I want it there, wherever I want it to be, I put it. And I really want it over here. So that's saying yes, this is appended. So for me to see the appendment, I have to actually open the activity. So I'm a little disappointed in that you can't see it, but I also understand it. There's another feature I really like, activity grouping. I'm really not going to talk about activity grouping in a true sense today, but what I am going to do is talk about activity view, and to get to the activity view I click the activity grouping button. So what I really like about this activity view, which we had in the old classic version, we still have it here in what we now call, or what some of us call, next gen, going back to those days of classic next gen, is I can see the full description of the activity down here. Now I'm on this activity there, and I can use this to view and read. I can just use my down arrow key and keep reading everything down there in the description. So I'm going to filter this right now for show me only activities for audit, so I can show you that appendment we just did. Okay, so off camera there I made a couple cleanups to it. So here's the appendment we did. This is the one we appended, 1030. And notice I still can't see those changes. So unfortunately those old WIN forms. So unfortunately those old WIN forms that are still in what we used to call classic don't give us those updates. I'm hopeful that down the road we'll be able to see them in this view, because I consider it a very important view. It helps me save from open close back in the other views. And I'm hopeful that they'll give this back to us. So that's that piece. Now let's go to talk about how we can add documents. So I'm going to head back to my activities that I have open and already in the background. So once again I'm going to open click the, and this time I'm going to hit the attachments button. So here we are in attachments. This should look very familiar. We see it all the time. This is how we get documents in the system when we do activities. And it's also how we get attachments to e-form certificates or submissions, for example. So I can go ahead and grab an email or file or whatever. I have one off camera here, so I'm going to pull that over. I'm going to pull it in, and I'm going to go ahead and update it. Now this has a different description, but I'm going to say copy of payroll. So I'm going to code it correctly. 1819 work comp payroll records. And depending on your doc typing options of what you have available, I'm just going to go ahead and select audit for the moment. Audit worksheets in this case. I'm going to say OK. Now right there it shows again a little stamp of what I captured. I want you to watch in the background here. I'm going to say save. And it restamps it and says I attached this document. So again, I'm going to go out to the documents view here in just a moment. So let's go over there real quick. Okay, I'm there. So I want you to see here that the document I just captured is attached here, just the way I did it. And I want you to see the date received is today's date. So it captured the current date. Even though it's attached to a previous activity, it's doc typed to that date. Likewise, I can go to my documents view of the customer center on the policy, and I'll see the same thing there. So that's how it works for that. Again, this is Michael with Insurance Agency Automation Associates with that little quick video. If you want to find out more about what I offer and what I do for agencies, you can come to my webpage, ins-automation.com. My contact information is down here at the bottom. And likewise, if you're not already a member of my newsletter list, you can sign up here. For example, if you got this video, which was in a newsletter, somebody forwarded it to you, a link, go ahead and sign up there for your own self. If you click it, it brings up a little form. All I got to do is answer a couple questions, and then it sets you up. I appreciate your time and hope this was useful to you. Have a great day.